AAA in the house.
And Mila, what are we talking about today?
K-State won but lost at the same time in the same game.
Still a Wildcat victory, but not the prettiest.
Still undefeated though, most important. I mean, it's kind of like the NCAA tournament right now. Mm-hmm. Survive and advance. And that was the story of this game.
Absolutely.
So we got your EMAW eval.
We sure do.
And then we got your preview for the next game against Nevada.
The Wolfpack?
Do you say Nevada or do you say Nevada?
I say Nevada.
You say Nevada?
Okay. Seems more Texan. I don't know.
I say Nevada myself. You know.
Yeah, but you also say other stuff weird.
Like what?
Go ahead and what's that thing you clean up a table with?
Dust ruffle? No, that's for the bed. What is the thing you clean up the
napkin?
A napkin, yeah.
It's a napkin.
Napkin. We're saying the same thing. Napkin.
And just so we address it, so we don't get in the comments. Yes, I have one sleeve up. I got a tattoo. It's healing. It burns. I don't.
Show it to him. Show it to him.
Okay.
That color is fresh.
Sure is. And it was not a Power Cat. I know. Kind of disappoints, but
okay. It's all good. It's all good.
Maybe if we win the national championship this year, who knows? I'll get a Power Cat on my butt cheek. Don't hold me to that, please. Anyways, all right. So you want to jump into the EMAW eval? Or?
Let's jump up to the EMAW eval. Since this is our second time doing it, I'll go through it once again. Remember, E is for the event that changed the game. M is obviously for MVP.
I can't spell.
A is for audible of the game. And then the dub is for what went right and what went wrong.
So our score was 31-23.
Yeah, that's victory.
Against the Salukis. If you don't know what a Saluki is, it's like a weirdly bred dog. It's got a long face. Very, very strange mascot. Maybe that's how our schedule was made.
Like we picked like mascots that Wildcats could beat up?
Yeah.
Because a Wildcat can totally kill a tree.
And definitely a wolf. And definitely a Saluki.
So, I mean, I'm not saying we go from one dog to a wild dog in Nevada. I think we got this.
Exactly. Makes sense.
Man, I'm going to be so judgmental if I'm saying Nevada or Nevada. All right, anyway, back to the Salukis. All right, let's go. Do you want to take the event that changed the game?
Yes. Huge event that changed the game. Skylar Thompson going down. Oh, my God. Knee injury, it seems. Yeah, it just... The offense kind of crumbled without him. Now, given, the backup did what he could, but...
I mean, with Thompson, you started the game off basically with like a huge play to Malik Knowles. Passing game looked really good. You scored a touchdown off the bat.
I think he had, 3 completions for 96 yards, something like that? Crazy.
I mean, that average, though. Man.
But then to go out! Oh!
Yeah, and he went out basically on the second touchdown drive.
Yep.
You go up 14. And Howard does good for his first couple possessions, and then kind of the wheels fall off. But that was definitely the event that changed the game. Because, you looked at that game with Skylar Thompson and how that offense was moving. And I don't know about you guys, but I was thinking blowout. We're about to blow these cats out the water. And this is a good Southern Illinois team. And top 8 in the FCS going into this game. One of the contenders truly, and a very explosive offense, which I believe we told you was going to be an explosive offense.
Called it.
So, he goes out 96 yards like you said. Howard had 76 yards the rest of the game.
Which isn't bad, but it's not great.
Yeah, 3 quarters, 76 yards, 20 yards short of what Skylar did in 1 quarter. So definitely you saw the offense kind of take a huge hit right there.
Do we know if he's like a sophomore, junior?
Howard, I mean, I think he's a junior now, but...
yeah, you would expect a little bit better.
Well, especially because he had all that playing time last year. But I will say this. There is a huge difference from when you are in practice getting a handful of first-team reps versus you getting all the first-team reps, you preparing, knowing that you're going to be the guy that week. So I don't want to be too hard because I'm going to guarantee something later on this episode with him. But let's go into the MVP.
Ooh, we got acronyms on acronyms.
And I'm going to let you say the MVP because I'm terrible with names.
So I had to write myself low-key here. Felix Anudike Uzuma. I think that's how we say it.
Ooh, say it again.
Uzuma.
Hashtag Lion King joke. Right. So, this dude was a monster. Absolute monster.
Killed it.
Give him the stats. Give him the stats on this.
Alright, so we got 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles.
So, of those 3 sacks that he got, 2 of them he also forced a fumble.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, when you talk about wrap and strip, this guy was doing it.
And how did he end the game?
He ended it with a strip sack. So that was huge. I mean, the defense really stepped up in this game, and
Absolutely.
he was like, I didn't want to name the defense the MVP again. So when you went to most impactful, this was the guy, right?
Yeah.
You talk about an explosive passing offense with the Salukis, and you talk about the guy that impacted it the most. Most people think GB, think corner. It was actually, your front, getting to the quarterback, making him uncomfortable, and a fumble is an endage of a possession, and that's actually how he ended the game with them on their game-winning drive.
And I believe we talked about this a little in the preseason preview about how, hey, defense, you got to step up because you were kind of at the bottom of the Big 12 last year, and now it looks like we're kind of moving our way up. Right?
Yeah,
good progression.
Absolutely, and it's really impressive. Like, when you watch a coaching staff actually make coaching adjustments, and I'm going to go into it in the audible, but I want to talk about it here as well, just for the last season versus this season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's too many games and too many teams where it's, hey, just next man up. We're going to run the same exact thing. Yeah. But there is a reason why people are starters. There's a reason why people come off the bench. And there's a reason why people like Alabama can run whatever they run because they have that talent pool. K-State, I'm not saying we're devoid of talent. We're certainly not. But there is a gap in talent. So what do you do to overcome these gaps in talent when you have to go up against these speed demons? You coach. You change the defense. Yep. You alter what you're doing to the team you're playing.
Adapt, improvise, and overcome.
Yeah, Jason Garrett was all about execution if you're a Cowboys fan. It don't matter what the other team's doing or what they got. All they got to do is execute. It's not the real world. You have to adapt to what the other team does well. And this is a prime example. K-State, you're in the Big 12, which is a high point scoring conference.
Yep.
It's a fast paced league, so you've got to be better on D. And they certainly did that with that 3-3-5, and then they did it here as well with getting to the quarterback. So just fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So that takes us to the audible of the game.
All right, so audible of the game. So let's talk about Howard. His first couple possessions were good, and then he had a pick, he had a fumble, he had multiple chances where there were picks throughout that first half. Right? He only ended with 1 pick, but it could have easily been 3. So this is where when we talked about survive and advance, your defense is holding this team. It is stopping them. Right? They're only really scoring on short yardage. They're not driving the ball against you. So when you're noticing that your defense is as dominant as it is, you have to eliminate short yardage, right? Because you're doing a good job of getting them off on third field. So this is where you had to take a page out of the old school Bill Cowers playbook and just run. Run the ball, but do it in a Kyle Shanahan type way, in a creative way, right? So you go old school run.
I like it.
You get creative with how you do it. So second half, we're going up a team that we told you last show that was giving up 70 yards a pop, and that if K-State hit 200 yards rushing, they were going to win, which is exactly what happened. But you ran the ball, but you didn't just run it like you did last year with only Deuce Vaughn and Howard, right? You got creative.
Brought everybody up into that fold.
Yeah. Can I read off the first drive of the third quarter, how many people ran the ball?
Please, go for it.
You had obviously Howard, obviously Vaughn, right? And that's kind of what it was last year, why the offense couldn't move the ball. Not only was it those two, it was Irvin, it was Wright, it was Knowles, it was Brooks, all in your first drive off the bat in the third quarter.
So just thinking about this, and it's just a question for you, but do you think that maybe the coaching staff kind of took into account, what if Skylar gets injured again? What will we do in that case? Do you feel like maybe some of that was taken into account of in the offseason?
Absolutely. I think it did, because you saw them get more creative with, 1, getting people involved so no one checks out. 2, running out of different formations, which is something they really didn't do last year, right? They kind of kept running into brick walls and hoping Deuce would be a miracle of the game. And this time, they got everybody involved in that running game. They made sure everybody was a part of it. And then, as we saw, Howard had a couple big throws in that second half. because the defense guessed run and it wasn't run. So that's why it was so important. And yes, it was a boring game plan to end that game, but you were playing for survival.
Right.
You were
don't
playing.
Need to get flashy at that point.
You don't need to be flashy at that point. So let's go into the dub. What went
right
and what went wrong? You want to hit him with the wrong?
I'm gonna hit him with the right.
Oh, okay, fine. Be the good person. Be the good person.
No. I'll hit him with the wrong.
All right, hit him with the wrong.
Yeah. Okay. So turnovers. Yeah. 4 of them. There's 2 interceptions, 1 by Skylar, 1 by Howard, and then 2 fumbles. Those, I mean, that right there could have been 28 points if I did my math right. Yeah. Okay. It's like, math is not my strong suit. That could have been 28 points right there. Like, that's significant that we were able to stop that, but you can't be having turnovers like that.
And can I add into the what went right to tag into the what went wrong?
Yeah.
So she mentioned turnovers is what went wrong, and here's why it went so wrong. It was because on the what went right, your defense gave up count of 1. Uno mas. No, that's one more. Uno. One drive where Southern Illinois drove the ball the length of the field and ended with a score. It just so happened to be a touchdown. But they basically drove the ball one time on K-State, the length of the field to score. That means your defense, when given a proper field to work with, not a short field, held Southern Illinois in check. So that's why it was so important. Because if they weren't getting short fields, they basically weren't scoring. And so when you gave them 4 short fields to work with, it kills you.
Absolutely. So what went right then? I mean, more so than just that.
Oh, it's the defense. Not making it so where Southern Illinois couldn't drive the ball. That one drive Southern Illinois had was 75 yards. Outside of that, nothing over 50, which means nothing where they had a short field. So that's why that defense was what went right in this game.
I would also say what went right was the coaching plan. I mean, that was huge in this game. Honestly, my MVP might be a little bit different. It might be the coaching staff.
Yeah, really. I could totally see that. You saw Kleiman. He fell to his knees, and he was in disbelief of what was happening when Thompson went down, and it was brutally crushing.
Yeah.
To see that happen, fall to your knees, and you could. I mean, it was a little soft spot because you could tell how much he cared about Skylar at that moment. But good news is,
I definitely think he's a coach that cares for his kids.
Absolutely.
I mean, after talking to him, yeah, definitely.
Which. We talked to him on the I-35 Sports Connection.
We sure did, and then our video crapped out, so we don't have anything from it besides a picture with him.
But, I mean, we got the Ben Newman interview, and we got the Michael Bishop interview.
We did,
if y'all want to ever, check it out at I-35.
Sports CXN on Twitter.
Boom. All right, anyway, back to this. You know what else went right?
Calling the game?
Yeah.
The way you did?
Yo, this is why you listen to us. You hit them with what exactly we said was going to happen for K-State to win. And then what happened in this game?
Yep.
Over 200 yards rushing for K-State. You win this game. Boom. Salukis have a terrible run D. But a better O than Stanford. Defense would give K-State great field position. And the interception streak would continue. Boom. I mean,
Can we get some checks on there?
I don't know. Hey, yo, can we? Just so y'all know, we don't add any the cool stuff. It's basically us talking.
Yeah.
And then our friends at Down the Line Sports, they add all the cool shit. So it's not us. I don't know how to do any of that.
All right. Anyways, so moving on. So now that we got the EMAW eval down, let's talk about this week against Nevada.
Yeah.
The Wolfpack.
The Wolfpack.
What? Why are you throwing up their signs over here?
No, it's the NWO. It's the NWO.
Oh, I was gonna say this is my Wildcat eating here. Anyways,
anybody remember the NWO? When they went red, they went to the Wolfpack. No, nerd. Cool. No. Anyway, the Wolfpack are 2-0. They've actually
Stone Cold Stone. Just kidding. Thought about it.
So they've beaten Cal. And they beat Idaho State. So we're just going to ignore Idaho State because that's not a real football team.
Are they like the potatoes or something?
They should be.
I'm just kidding.
The potato. This should be the curly fries. The Idaho State curly fries.
Why curly fries?
Because I would think the University of Idaho is the potato, and then if you're state, you should be something a little bit more.
So curly fries more than a regular potato to you?
Would you rather have a regular potato or a curly fry?
Ooh, I'd rather have a baked potato. Any day. Oh,
Can we get a poll up? Like, what would you rather have, a baked potato or a curly fry?
Especially during a game? Oh, yes.
Do you know those, like, little twisty things? What they call it? Twisters on a stick?
Yeah, but that's not a curly fry. That's a Texas twister.
Oh, my God. But it's got the curl just like a curly fry.
Anyways, all right. We've like...
I'm hungry.
All right. We're back.
All right, so who's got the start for this game?
It's going to have to be Howard.
Howard's got the start.
Skylar, he's not out for the year, but I think it's good that he's tending to that knee injury.
Yeah, so to be determined on when exactly Skylar comes back.
Good vibes headed your way, Skylar.
Leave. We need you.
Absolutely. We need you.
All right, but you're playing the Wolfpack, and like, let's go over some of the things about the Wolfpack. Like, what are they as a team? What's a good way to describe the Wolfpack in this situation? Because, you know, not a lot of people stay up to watch Nevada play football.
Sure, yeah, especially in this area, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say they're probably a little bit like better of a version of the teams that we've already played.
Yeah, they are. They're basically a better version of Southern Illinois, right? They have a really good passing game. It's better, more explosive than Southern Illinois. Mm-hmm. They have a bad run defense, just like Southern Illinois, but their defense isn't as bad. It's basically their Southern Illinois, but like Coke version, and where Southern Illinois was like Diet Coke.
Gotcha.
If you get my drift,
I was wondering
right?
where you were going with that.
One's regular Coke, Nevada.
That Coke, yes.
And the other one is Diet Coke, or Coke Light if you're overseas.
Yes.
So what do you need to do in order to win this game? We got some keys to the game and magic numbers, and as our last two episodes have shown you.
Can we get some keys?
Keys to the game.
Something like that.
Do you want to hit the first one?
Yeah, so we have to move the ball in. We need offense to score.
Yeah,
which kind of seems like a dub, but like really moving that ball is what you got to do.
And it's the way you move the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're not talking about just matriculating down the field.
Right, no dinking and dunking, as you say.
We're talking about you need chunk plays, because without Skylar Thompson running your offense, your offense is going to be wildly inconsistent at times in this game. So you are going to need chunk plays to get you into scoring position, and then you're going to have to take advantage of those moments in the red zone.
Right.
But without those chunk plays, you can't trust Howard. Right. No offense, with all due respect, you can't trust this offense to matriculate down the field, right?
Absolutely.
So you are going to have chunk yardage, and that means 4 to 5 plays of 25 yards or more.
Yikes. It's very doable. I say yikes as in it's a lot, but it's very doable.
4 to 5 plays of big chunk yardage, so it can put you in scoring position. That is one of the keys to this game. You are going to need to be a big play magnet. What's another one?
We are going to have to really keep our D on fire, because Nevada really struggles against that good D. So I feel like as long as, we keep bringing that heat.
As do most people.
Wait, what?
You said they struggle against that good D. That was inappropriate.
Okay, Michael Scott.
Y'all know what I mean.
Anyways, but yeah, so really just keeping on that streak of, hey, showing up, showing out, being the hot boys.
And what streak were we talking about that's going to continue for the defense? Interception streak. Mm-hmm. Right? So, like, you're going up against the team in Nevada that how many times have they thrown the ball the last 2 games?
I think like 39.
39 against Cal, and 46 times against the Idaho State Curly Fries. 46 passes.
I like that.
Whenever you have 5 DBs in the game, like K-State does, and you're going up a team that basically throws 40 some odd times a game, you are going to get an opportunity to have an interception. Mm-hmm. It's, are you going to catch it or not? The ball will hit you in your hands. There are going to be times where they do not see the underneath guy, or they do not see the guy crashing in. That is your time to get the interception and turn the field around. So that's why the defense, particularly the interception streak, must continue for K-State to win.
Absolutely. I'm going to hit this last one.
Oh, yeah, because I got a bonus one.
Oh, bonus Jonas. All right.
Bonus Jonas.
All right, so what are you thinking in terms of, like, trick plays?
Oh, I think you're playing against a team in Nevada that will do it. They are going to do a couple trick plays in this game. Like, Nevada is a team that...
I did it. Sorry, that's a TikTok joke for y'all.
Yes, they're 2-0, but they're not expected to do anything this year. So this would be their statement win of the year to beat you. So they are going to
Right.
They're a magician pulling everything out the sleeves. You
thinking flea flickers too.
They're going to do a trick play, 1 or 2 in this game,
fake punt,
and you can't bite.
Yeah.
You cannot bite on it. And the reason they're going to do a trick play is because, like your offense with Howard, their offense gets stagnant, and that's why 30 points is the threshold right here. 30 points. K-State scores 30 points, they win. Hands down, they win. Which is why that bonus point that I'm making is 30 points. Which means when you get into the red zone or you get 35 yards and in, you go for it on 4th down. 4th and 2 or less, you're going for it inside of 35 yards.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Because check this out. If I'm going to punt from like 35-yard line and my punter isn't a Dustin Colquitt, right? I can't trust you to pin it inside the 10.
Sure.
So I'm really going to give you 15 yards because it's going to go into the back of the end zone. They're going to get the ball to 20. For 15 yards, I'll risk going for it on 4th or 2 or 3 or less, right?
Right. It also kind of depends on where you're at the game, but yes, overall. You
got to get those points. Hit that 30 mark, K-State wins this game.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
Well, I think that's it for what we have to talk about.
Yeah, it's an early game. It's going to be at 1 o'clock. So that is going to be 11 o'clock Nevada time. So you might have a little bit of an advantage there too. Going to be in the house that Bill built. So, refill that bill.
Yep.
But definitely look at those keys to the game. Follow us on Twitter. Interact with us. And follow us at
I-35 Sports CXN.
Go State.